Good afternoon, my diggers. This is my first Minecraft video. I'm going to take a tour of my new Minecraft Station design. It's a little bit different from a lot of the other designs I've seen, mostly because it's designed from the ground up to be used on SMP servers. Right now I'm going to take a walk around the facility, actually in fact fly around the facility, to give you an idea of the form factor. So we have a Minecraft station that has inbound and outbound lanes in each of the cardinal directions. This is around the left side, around the back, and this is the right exit and entrance to the station. So you can have carts coming into the station as well as flowing out without colliding. Furthermore, there's a no queuing because there are actually multiple stalls that riders can use. So if a rider is in stall number 1 making his decision, a rider can come into stall number 2 and grab a cart and head out in the direction they want. The idea is that these stations would be set up in a grid pattern and allow anybody on your SMP server to move between stations by basically moving north, south, and east and west along the grid lines. Now I just kicked a cart off the platform here, but if I press a button, a new cart is presented. The carts should always be, in general, waiting for the rider, unless you're like me and you're clumsy and you knock the cart around. So I'm going to hop into the cart right now and show me leaving the station through the front entrance, meaning coming out behind me. I click the button. We have standard track decisions with the RS Norlatch approach and not the timed approach. I return to the station through the inbound lane. For demonstration purposes, of course, I just looped back. If I wanted to head out the rear of the station, meaning forward, and occasionally it's a little sticky, but I pop the button and head out the back. And then again, a loop back in just for demo purposes. All the carts arrive on the second floor, and they select their first empty stall. Now I keep saying empty stall, but it's actually the case that all these stalls are empty, meaning there's no rider. To simulate an empty stall, actually an occupied stall, I've actually placed this cart on top of a wooden pressure plate as opposed to a stone pressure plate. And I have this right here. I'm going to demonstrate this really quickly with the cart removed. Now the system believes that that first stall is empty. So when I get in the cart again and head out the front of the station, the cart should arrive in the first bay instead of the second. Now the normal behavior actually is that each of these bays is on stone pressure plates, but for demo purposes we've done it this way. Rather than spending too much time on the whole skinned version of the station, where it's a little bit hard to see, I've actually created a station in the sky that I'm going to take us to by heading out the right exit from the station. Now, every once in a while I can't create enough pressure to pop the cart, and it requires a second button press. Hopefully in the second station you'll be able to see what it looks like and why that glitch occurs occasionally. But again, I'm going to enter in this station. It's a replica of the first station, right down to the wooden pressure plate on the first cart. And this station Whoop. Let's turn flying back on. This station, as you can see, has the walls torn off for illustration purposes. So both stations are currently 3 stalls wide. The design is actually completely modular, so you could have about 7, 8, pretty much N stalls, probably without problem. I can't think of any reason why. Maybe there might be a timing issue if you go to 9 stalls or more, but in this version I have 3. Each stall is identical, and if you're using something like World Edit or something, you can copy these things into place. For demo purposes, I've actually rigged up this redstone to that first switch so that we can take a look at what happens when a cart is summoned. So I've popped the button. A cart is ejected because this cart comes in behind it and pushes it off the ramp. The cart then heads down. It's a little bit difficult to see from this angle, but heads down the slope and through standard momentum empty cart detection. The cart makes its way back through the system and into the Pez dispenser, and I'll show you in a moment how that Pez dispenser works. Let's just look at how carts are fed back in. So a cart has been ejected at the same time a cart comes in behind it, and the way that works is because the track down here is set into the receiving state when I hit the switch, and through an RS NOR latch toggle the cart is returned, and then the receiving state is flipped over to the pass-through state. So every time I eject an empty cart and the cart is picked up by the empty cart detection, it eventually makes its way back through the system and back into the Pez dispenser, as you can see over here. And over here we basically have a standard hatch-based Pez dispenser system. As you can see, the gory guts of the system is a lot of redstone. Each one of these colors represents something else. In fact, this lime green color, it's very prominent, is the empty stall detection, which is basically feeding the stall state all the way around up through the floor and up to these tracks. So again, because the wooden pressure plate is acting as an occupied stall for the purpose of demonstration, you can see that the cart is told to bypass that lane. All of the incoming carts are fed into the same feed line. They snake their way around and collect along this road. If all of the stalls are occupied, a rider will be ejected from the last stall, and that's basically the idea. The rest of the design is actually pretty standard stuff. The other colors represent the other directions. Inside of this system you have the RS NOR latch kind of arrangements that represent the station state. So the station is sort of in the north, south, east, or west position, depending on which button press the user has made. Here's another RS NOR latch over here, and finally the red one over here. And in many respects is a lot like the switching designs that you've seen in plenty of other stations. Some of the other things that are unusual, though, is we're making use of the crease bug, I guess is the best way to say it, that allows carts to pass through the edges on diagonal cart approaches, as well as the half block bug that allows carts to fall through half blocks. Sort sort of magically. And it's also the thing that allows the ceiling to remain basically intact and allows the riders to walk around the station by walking over these half blocks. But basically these are the half blocks that you're passing through when you fall through the ceiling and return into the stalls. I'm going to put this onto Reddit, and if anybody has any questions or wants me to do some follow-up to explain some of the more gory details, I'll be happy to do that. Thanks for watching.